You turn on your tap and nothing comes out. You walk to the store and the shelves are empty of bottled water. This isn't a scene from a dystopian movie. It's already reality for 2 billion people worldwide. And if we don't act now, it could be coming to a neighborhood near you. We are talking about the worldwide drinking water shortage, a crisis that's unfolding right now, affecting every continent and threatening to reshape global politics, economics, and human survival as we know it. According to the United States, 2 billion people, that's 1 in 4 humans on Earth, lack access to safely managed drinking water at home.
Cape Town, it could become the first major city in the world to run out of water.
Cape Town, South Africa is inching closer now to day zero.
Cape Town, South Africa nearly ran out of water in 2018. Chennai, India's 6th largest city with 10 million people, hit day zero in 2019 when their reservoirs dried up. Parts of California have been in drought conditions for over 2 decades. Even wealthy European cities like Barcelona have had to import water by ship. The World Health Organization estimates that by 2026, 1 year from now, half of the world's population will be living in water-stressed areas. By 2050, that number could jump to 5 billion people. We are not talking about distant future problems here. We are talking about a crisis that's accelerating faster than climate change models predicted. But what drives this crisis? It's a perfect storm of factors that are colliding simultaneously. Climate change is the big one. Rising temperatures mean more evaporation, changing precipitation patterns, and more extreme weather events. The water cycle that has sustained human civilization for thousands of years is breaking down. Glaciers that have provided fresh water to billions are melting away. The Himalayan glaciers alone supply water to 2 billion people in Asia. Population growth is putting unprecedented pressure on water systems. We have added 2 billion people to the planet since 1990, but we have not added 2 billion people's worth of fresh water. In fact, we are using the same water that's been cycling through Earth's systems for millions of years. Pollution is making the problem worse. Industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and plastic contamination are poisoning water sources faster than nature can clean them. In many places, the water exists. It's just not safe to drink. Over-extraction is draining water bodies that took thousands of years to fill. Farmers and cities are pumping groundwater faster than rain can replenish it. Some water bodies in the American Southwest won't recover for centuries, even if we stopped pumping today. Now here's where it gets really scary from a global stability perspective. Water doesn't respect borders, and when countries start running out, tensions explode. The Nile River flows through 11 countries. Egypt depends on it for 90% of its water, but upstream countries like Ethiopia are building massive dams. Egypt's former president said his country would go to war over the Nile. That wasn't hyperbole. Turkey controls the headwaters of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, giving them enormous leverage over Syria and Iraq. China's dam projects on the Mekong River are affecting water flow to Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. The potential for conflict is everywhere. But it's not just international tensions. Within countries, water scarcity is driving mass migration. Climate refugees aren't just fleeing rising sea levels. They are fleeing drought. The Syrian civil war was partially triggered by the worst drought in the country's history, which drove 1.5 million rural people into cities, creating social tensions that contributed to the conflict. Agriculture uses 70% of the world's fresh water, so water scarcity directly threatens food security. When crops fail due to drought, food prices spike globally. We saw this in 2008 and 2011 when food prices increased, triggering social unrest in dozens of countries. Major cities are already spending billions on water infrastructure. Melbourne spent $3.5 billion on a desalination plant. California is investing $15 billion in water projects. These costs get passed on to the consumers and taxpayers. Industries are being forced to relocate based on water availability. Tech companies which need massive amounts of water for cooling data centers are factoring water scarcity into their location decisions. Manufacturing is shifting to water-rich regions, creating new economic winners and losers. But it's not all doom and gloom. Human ingenuity is fighting back with some incredible technologies. Desalination is becoming cheaper and more efficient. Israel now gets 55% of its domestic water from desalination plants. New reverse osmosis technologies are cutting energy costs dramatically. Water recycling is turning wastewater into drinking water. Singapore recycles 40% of its water. California is expanding programs that run sewage into tap water. And yes, it's perfectly safe. Smart agriculture is using sensors, AI, and precision irrigation to grow more food with less water. Israeli farmers produce crops with 50% less water than the global average. Atmospheric water generation is literally pulling drinking water out of thin air. Companies are developing solar-powered systems that can produce thousands of gallons per day in even arid climates. So where does this leave us? The next decade will be critical. Countries and cities that invest in water infrastructure, conservation, and new technologies will thrive. Those who don't will face increasingly severe consequences. And yes, we'll probably see water-related conflicts increase. But we are also going to see unprecedented cooperation, because ultimately everyone needs water and no one can solve this crisis alone.